On Man United, today, Man United formally closed their first signing of the summer. Here we go, a few days ago, but now everything is in paper between Manchester United and Atalanta for Ederson. The Brazilian midfielder is a Man United player from today. What's needed now is Ederson, after the holidays, go to England, take his official medical, sign the contract. I'm told that a first unofficial medical already took place with the authorization of Atalanta. Everything is okay between Ederson and Man United since months ago. He only wants to go to Man United, and now also the agreement closed between the two clubs in paper. So in terms of club statement, in terms of Ederson holding the shirt of Man United, we have to be a little bit more patient because the deal is going to be announced as soon as the player is taking, obviously, the formal steps as new Man United player. But from today, everything is in paper. And so, Man United signed the first midfielder, and they will have more, at least one more. So stay tuned, because in the next days I will tell you more on Man United and midfielders, but they are already working on it, behind the scenes. After Ederson, Michael Carrick will get at least one more. Talking about wingers and money for Man United, guys, I can give you more details on the Mason Greenwood situation. My understanding is that the transfer fee Olympique Marseille are going to ask to sell Mason Greenwood this summer is 50 million euros plus 5 in add-ons. This is the starting price, the price tag, so what Marseille want. Then we will see if it can be negotiated or not. Fenerbahce are there. Fenerbahce candidate to become the president. Safi yesterday announced and confirmed the agreement with Greenwood on a 4-year contract, everything done with the player, but still depending on the elections and on the agreement with Marseille. So Fenerbahce are very aggressive on the deal to sign Mason Greenwood. On the other side, there is Roma. Roma manager Gasperini is in love with Greenwood, and Roma are still there, still hoping, still trying to make it happen if they can find a way with Olympique Marseille and if the Fenerbahce deal collapses. So we have to follow this situation. Remember, Man United have a heavy sell-on clause. Remember, heavy sell-on clause. It's not just peanuts or maybe 5%. Man United would receive important money from this deal, and so they are tracking the Greenwood situation closely, because could be also helpful financially to bring in extra money. It's already a good summer for Man United. They are in Champions League, and so the budget is already good. Højlund went to Napoli. They will have more exits, but now the Greenwood situation will soon be clarified with Man United making money.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking what is easily one of the most fascinating tactical and financial rebuilds in recent football history. We're talking about Michael Carrick's massive 2026 summer overhaul at Manchester United. So, following a brilliant third-place Premier League finish and getting back into the Champions League, United's boardroom, led by Ioannis, is executing this master plan to completely reshape the spine of the squad. And honestly, as you'll see, the moves happening off the pitch are just as critical as the ones happening on it.
Okay, here's our roadmap for The Explainer. We're going to look at funding the Ineos rebuild, the void left by Casemiro, the first piece of the puzzle, which is securing Ederson, and then two massive secondary targets, Sandro Tonali and Matías Fernandes. Let's dive in.
Starting off with part 1, funding the Ineos rebuild and how they are clearing the books for the summer window.
Right, so before Michael Carrick can actually bring in his ideal midfield engines, Chief Executive Omar Barada and Director of Football Jason Wilcox have to deal with the strict reality of the Premier League's profitability and sustainability rules. They are literally ruthlessly clearing the books to ensure compliance and create some totally unprecedented buying power. And to really grasp United's leverage this summer, you just have to look at this staggering number, £250 million. According to recent third-quarter financials, Ioannis pulled a huge strategic move by paying off £110 million of the club's revolving credit facility. By wiping out that debt, boom, they've effectively unlocked a massive £250 million in available credit. This right here is the financial engine that's going to fund their transfer installments and give United some serious, immediate buying power in the 2026 market.
And you can clearly see how this new regime is operating, right? They're systematically shedding these massive contracts. Casemiro is leaving at the end of his deal, Jadon Sancho's huge contract is finally coming off the books, and Tyrell Malacia is heading out too. Dropping just those 3 players instantly frees up £39 million annually in wages. But here is the real secret sauce. Because of how squad costs are calculated, getting the historical transfer fees of Casemiro and Sancho completely off the books actually clears a massive £133 million in amortization space. I mean, that is pure profitability and sustainability headroom right there.
But the actual financial genius, it's happening entirely outside of Manchester through this brilliant piece of transfer arbitrage. Let's rewind a bit to 2024. United sold Mason Greenwood to Marseille for over £26 million. But, and this is crucial, they inserted a massive 40 to 50% sell-on clause. Fast forward after his stellar season in France, and Greenwood's on the move again. Fenerbahce is preparing a huge bid, which means United is set to earn a completely effort-free windfall of at least £19 million. Literally, it's just found money going straight into Michael Carrick's transfer kitty.
And what's wild is that this Turkish transfer is entirely wrapped up in real-world football politics. Hakan Safi, who is a leading candidate in Fenerbahce's presidential election, proudly announced a 4-year agreement with Greenwood, just to boost his campaign. It's fascinating, isn't it? A presidential election over in Istanbul is directly funding Michael Carrick's midfield ambitions in Manchester. You really can't make this stuff up.
Moving on to part 2, the Casemiro void and rebuilding the spine of the squad.
So, with the funds secured, Carrick is still staring down this gaping tactical hole left by Casemiro's exit. And this is right as they're prepping for a grueling dual competition schedule with the Premier League and the Champions League. Because of this, Ineos is aggressively scouting a very, very specific profile, a defensive screen. In Carrick's system, this isn't just your standard destroyer. They need a physically resilient, technically secure midfielder who can completely stabilize the team structure. Why? Well, doing that is the absolute key to unlocking Kobbie Mainoo. It gives the young star the freedom to progress the ball higher up the pitch without constantly looking over his shoulder, worrying about what's behind.